Wimbledon. Wimbledon. Focus question. What is Wimbledon and what sets it apart from other tournaments? The magic of Wimbledon. It is July 1980. The crowd watches as two tennis titans meet on the well-worn grass of Wimbledon's center court. It is the ice-cool calm of sweaty Borg against the fire and temper of American Joe McEnroe. Wearing their trademark handbands, both are ready for battle. Borg pounds balls into the corners of the grass court. The balls raise clouds of dust as they hit the chalk lines. McEnroe catches his curly hair in despair. For nearly 4 hours, both players give this match everything they have. One commentator shouts, "Is this World Heavyweight Boxing Contest?" They would stop the fight. In the end, it is Borg who holds high the Wimbledon Championship trophy. It is perhaps the most coveted of all tennis prizes. Wimbledon is the oldest tennis competition in the world. It's also the name of leafy area of London, home to All England Lawn Tennis and Croquet Club, where the tournament started and still takes place every year. It is the only major tournament that hosts the sport on its original surface, grass. All the top professional tennis players in the world want to play there. Winning Wimbledon can turn a tennis player into a tennis legend. For 2 weeks every June, almost 500,000 fans attend the matches. Many millions more follow the action on social media and TV. Wimbledon fans love its old-fashioned image of tennis in an English country garden. Tennis fans attend a Wimbledon Championship final with a sense of awe. They feel the thrill of the players' nerves when the umpire calls time and the match begins. They watch the athletes' feet spring silently on the well-tended lawn courts as they chase the ball. Members of the crowd ooh and ah over their favorite players. All these things make up the magic of Wimbledon. Wimbledon history. Tennis was first played in France about 900 years ago. Back then, people used their hands in place of racket. The rules of the modern game were set in England in the 1870s. People played with a rubber ball on grass. The first Wimbledon Championship was held in 1877 on one of the lawns at the All England Club. The club hoped to raise money to pay for the care of its lawns. The championship really caught the public's interest in 1889. That's when Willie Renshaw won the first of 6 Wimbledon victories in a row. Fans loved his fine serves and overhead smashes. He won 3 singles championships against his twin brother, Ernest. Together, they won 5 doubles championships. Twin win. It would take more than a century for 2 sisters to beat the Renshaw doubles record, but they finally did. In 2016, Venus and Serena Williams won the Wimbledon doubles title for the 6th time. By the 1800s, Wimbledon was attracting players from beyond England. In 1905, Mae Sutton from the United States became the first international player to win the women's singles. Australian Norman Brooks became the first international men's champion in 1907. In 1922, the British royal family gained their own spectators' box at Wimbledon. 4 years later, the Duke of York, who later became King George VI, competed in the men's doubles. He and his partner lost their match, but to this day players still bow across to the king or queen. Only top-ranked amateur players could enter Wimbledon until 1968. That time, prize money was awarded for the first time, and it became a tournament for professionals. By 2017, the winners of the men's and women's singles competitions each collected close to $5 million. That's a big paycheck. Do you know? The 4 Grand Slams are the most important competitions on the tennis calendar. Players travel from around the world and compete against each other to reach a grand final at the end. The 4 Grand Slam tournaments are the Australian Open, Wimbledon, the French Open, and the US Opening. Winning these titles means fame, and that often means extra money since companies use winning players to help sell products. Rules and traditions. Above all other Wimbledon tradition is the grass court. It must be just right. A year-round grounds crew makes sure all 20 grass courts are ready. Every day during the tournament, the ground crew mow the courts. They keep the height of the grass at exactly 8 millimeters, 0.3 inches, the perfect height for playing. They paint the chalk lines and spray a precise amount of water on the grass that night to help it last. Grass court tennis. For players who are not used to playing on real grass, it can be tricky at first. The balls bounce extremely low. Players have to bend their knees more than usual. That's hard work. As the grass gets more worn, the risk of a bad bounce of the ball also increases. Still, some players love to playing on grass because it means a faster bouncing ball. No advertising is allowed around the court, and while players can wear whatever color they want in other tournaments, Wimbledon has a strict all-white dress code for its players. It includes shirt collars, cap brims, and even the bottoms of shoes. Eating strawberries and cream at Wimbledon is another tradition. On average, 34,000 kilograms, 74,957 IB of strawberries and 10,000 liters, 2,642 gallons of ice cream are sold at each Wimbledon championship. Another special tradition is the queue, the British term for a line of waiting people. Fans can buy passes to walk around the Wimbledon round and stand next to an outside court to watch their favorite player practice or compete. Some fans queue all day, hoping to buy a ticket for a certain match. There is even a place for die-hard fans to pitch their tents. Famous finals. The men's and women's singles competitions contain 128 spots each. A draw determines who plays home, but the draw isn't completely random. It spreads out top-ranked players to make sure they don't play each other until later in the tournament. The more matches a player has won in past tournaments, the higher the ranking he or she will have. The suspense builds through the contest as players battle to get through each round. As with Borg versus and Rowe, Wimbledon has seen some epic finals through the years. Ashe vs. Connors. When Arthur Ashe faced Jimmy Connors in the 1975 finals, tennis was by and large a white person's game. As with many professional sports, it was also a young person's game, and Ashe was 10 years older than Connors. The odds against Ashe seemed overwhelming. Connors had won the tournament the previous years, was ranked number 1 in the world. In previous matchups, Connors had always beaten Ashe. What did Ashe have going for him? Experience. Instead of hitting as hard as he could against the bigger hitting younger man, Ashe lay back and absorbed his attacks. When Connors grew tired, Ashe went in for the kill. Ashe's win would go down as one of the most popular upsets in tennis history. It was also amazing for another reason. It was the first and so far only time that a black man won the Wimbledon. Chris Evert vs. Martina Navratilova. From 1973 through 1988, Americans Chris Evert and Martina Navratilova played each other 80 times. Evert's cool, calm, patient, and error-free hitting made her hard to beat until Navratilova came along. Emotional, powerful, and fierce, Navratilova was in many ways Evert's opposite. Yet they formed a close friendship during their playing days, one that continues today. Evert came into their first Wimbledon final in 1978 with 2 Wimbledon titles already. It was Navratilova Navratilova first Wimbledon singles final, but by serving and then sprinting to the net to hit the return ball, she was able to beat Evert that day. Navratilova said her first Wimbledon crown was the most important of her career. It helped her believe that she was a champion. Roger Federer vs. Rafael Nadal. Between 2004 and 2012, Roger Federer and Rafael Nadal was without question the top male players. They remain two of the best players in tennis history, each with his own style. Nadal has power and a tough spirit. Federer has fancy footwork and smooth hitting. Many considered Federer's victory in 2007 one of the greatest Wimbledon finals, until 2008 came along. In that final, Nadal and Federer fought an epic tennis battle for nearly 5 hours. The match ended under a cloak of darkness with Nadal the victor. Many felt they would never see a better match. That was the longest final in Wimbledon history. The longest match came in an opening round in 2010. It took 3 days for American John Isner to defeat France's Nicolas Mahut. Isner was so tired of his victory that he lost his next match. Conclusion. Wimbledon is proud of being the oldest of all the major tennis tournaments and the most traditional. The competition's image of high tea and tennis on the green lawn is well protected. Tennis is now a worldwide sport. However, as the sport moves forward with the times, it will be interesting to see how